What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. With that being said, let's get into it. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez. Where should I start? I'm just going to go straight into it. Teofimo Lopez is out here playing with fire. He's barking up the wrong tree, and this is not the guy you want to mess with. And that's Terrence Bud Crawford. He's clearly trying to use Terrence Crawford's name to sell his fight that nobody really is interested in. No disrespect to Jermaine Ortiz, but nobody really know the guy like that or really interested in Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz. So Teofimo Lopez probably sit down with his team like, what can I do to get people talking about me and paying attention to me to want to watch my next fight and then want to watch the fight after that? Okay, let me attach my name to Terrence Crawford. Anybody in the sport right now that has a hot name, he could have attached his name to Devin Haney. That would have been better. He could have pretended like he wanted to fight Devin Haney. That would have been much better, right? Instead of doing that, he chose to go after Terrence Crawford. He did a few interviews on Fight Hub and Boxing Social saying Terrence Crawford fought a lot of handicapped fighters. And then he named the fighters that he beat. He started with Vasyl Lomachenko. As you guys can see right here, Vasyl Lomachenko is very handicapped. He said going into that Teofimo Lopez fight, he injured his shoulder. And you can see right here, he had a surgery after the fight. Another fighter he mentioned on that list he just beat is Josh Taylor. He recently beat Josh Taylor a couple years after he beat Vasyl Lomachenko, pretending to be undisputed and never been undisputed his entire career. Teofimo Lopez, he beat Lomachenko, not for undisputed, because Lomachenko didn't have the WBC belt. Lomachenko had the WBC franchise belt. But anyway, he went back and forth with Terrence Crawford on Twitter. Crawford said this to Teo: "Your little bitch ass better worry about them little guys that's on your ass down there in your weight class. It's crazy. Every time I see your whole ass, you don't even look my way. But when you in front of a camera, you got so much to say. You a pussy." And Terrence Crawford, Teofimo replies to Terrence Crawford, this is what he had to say. He says, "You right, I am the biggest pussy in boxing." How you going to agree? Somebody call you that, you going to agree, say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you could tell he not from the hood. Like, that's the weakest thing I've ever heard. Somebody call you something, you going to say, yeah, I am. Like, what, bro? That's weird. I don't understand that. If somebody said you were this, you don't say, yeah, I am. I don't know. That's just a weird way to respond to something. But anyway, this fool said, yeah, he is. And then he says, he names Vasyl Lomachenko. You guys remember the last person that made a list, what happened to them. He names Vasyl Lomachenko, handicap. Josh Taylor, handicap. Let me tell you how they handicap. I already showed you. Vasyl Lomachenko said going into that fight he had a shoulder injury. And he proved that right after the fight he had to get his shoulder fixed. Josh Taylor, let's not go there as well. You see, this is what happens when a fighter opens his mouth or people start to do some digging and it comes back to get you and comes back to bite you. Josh Taylor was dehydrated going into the Teofimo. He said he was dehydrated in that Teofimo Lopez fight. And he had a leg injury after the Jack Catterall fight. So he had a leg injury after the Jack Catterall fight. You know what I'm saying? And Teofimo Lopez probably knew that. And I believe he knew Vasily Lomachenko had a shoulder injury too. That's why he kept calling Vasily Lomachenko out. He knew Teo had a shoulder injury, and he knew Josh had a leg injury. So Teofimo Lopez is a hypocrite. He's a guy calling out Terrence Crawford for fighting so-called handicap fighters, but the two best wins on his resume has come by beating handicap fighters. And he refused to rematch these guys. Why didn't he rematch Vasily Lomachenko? His fight with Vasily Lomachenko was just as close as Devin Haney's fight. Yes, it was. If you guys can go back and watch it, just how Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko is just how Devin Haney beat Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney won all the early rounds. Teofimo Lopez won all the early rounds. And then after that, Vasily Lomachenko started to come on strong. That's exactly what happened. How do you guys forget that fast? This shit just happened. This stuff just happened. Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney won all of the early rounds. And Vasily Lomachenko, like the late starter he is, he came on strong in the end. But Devin Haney won the last round, which sealed the victory. It was the same thing with Teofimo Lopez. Almost identical fights. And a lot of people don't even get on Teofimo Lopez for that. They get on Devin Haney talking about, oh, Devin Haney lost to Vasily Lomachenko. If you feel Devin Haney lost to Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez also lost to Vasily Lomachenko. Because it was a similar situation. And Vasily Lomachenko was 100% for Devin. He was injured for Teofimo Lopez. This is why you don't open your mouth. This is why you keep your mouth shut and don't try to start shit, because people are going to start digging and you're going to get found to be a fraud. This is what Teo had to say. He says, time will tell. You need to focus on getting yourself out that trap contract you in with Earl Spence Jr. and Al Heyman. See you at the top, brother. No sucker. Plead the fifth. Stop. First of all, don't call that man brother, because you do not respect that man. You disrespected this man. He's not your brother, bro. Don't call that man your brother. Y'all not cool, bro. You fake. Every time that man fought somebody, you was there. You was there for the Kell Brook fight. I'm going to do another video on that. Show you how fake Teofimo Lopez is. He was there for the Kell Brook fight, rooting for the foreigner. How's that your brother, but you rooting against him? You was there for the the Kell Brook fight. You was rooting against Terrence Crawford for the Kell Brook fight. You was rooting against Crawford for the Earl Spence fight, and he was your stablemate at Top Rank. Don't call that man your brother if you're rooting for him. You want to see this man fall, because he's the only guy who was the first guy to become two-time undisputed, and you wish you was that guy. You beat two guys that was almost undisputed. Well, one was undisputed. Vasily Lomachenko was never undisputed. So you beat one guy that was undisputed, but he didn't have the belts when you beat him. You beat another guy who was almost undisputed, but he was a franchise champion. Come on, bro. What are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself every time you open your mouth, Teofimo Lopez. Just keep your mouth shut. We know you're just using Bud name to promote your fight with Jermaine Ortiz. It is what it is. But people are going to call you out on your bullshit the more you open your mouth. It's your boy, No Credit, and I'm out.